Well, we're going to give this a try. Oh, I got freaking audio's coming right into my damn ear pod. So, we're going to see how this goes. I haven't done one of these in a while. The platform that I use to go on YouTube Live is not the YouTube app. I haven't done this in a while, and they have changed everything. So we are kind of planting in a swamp here. I've got my iPad to my right. That's what's videoing the event here. I might just be talking to myself in the cab, I don't know. But I've got another, I can use my phone to kind of just narrate around and give you guys another visual here as to what things look like. So I don't even really know if, I guess I am live. I've got a few of you commenting. So I need to let this device sign on here. And I can just switch screens around. And this is the view out the front window of the tractor. We're planting kind of in a swamp. There was some geese out and about here. Here we go right there. So we got a little wet right here. So we're going to see how we do. Muddy. So this field here was an alfalfa field last year. We took first cutting off. And then we no-tilled corn into it. And there's basically only really one or two spots that's a little moist in this field. However, this year we've got a little bit more than one or two spots. So Jared's about 6 miles from here, planting on another farm, and he'll be joining up with us here in a little while. Get my guidance track back online here, and we'll just keep running back and forth. So in order to read the comments, I got to put my readers on here, so bear with me here for a second. So, are we behind with the corn? We're just a little behind, yes. Usually we try to have a majority of our corn planted by Memorial Day. Although we like to start hay around Memorial Day. But with the current wet weather, it's really not allowing us to do any hay here either. So I can switch you back over to this camera, going out the front window. Jared's going to be calling me here in a hot minute. Ugh. But, yeah, I just filled up with seed and fertilizer here a little bit of a minute ago, and I figured I would go on and see how this live stream stuff works, since I hadn't been on here at all for probably, it's probably been 7 months or so. Here, we'll show you what we got here. Nice pocket. Alright, so Sarah just texted. She said they're back to the farm. We had a little bit of a problem with Alex's tractor here this morning. You guys will see that in a future video. And it didn't want to start. So we had to put we ended up getting a starter from a neighbor, because John Deere didn't have any starters in stock. You guys will see that in a future video. So I probably should call Sarah rather. I don't know, what's the audio like? No more telemarketer calls. Yeah. So I gotta call Sarah here quickly and let her know what she should be doing. They went back to the farm to fuel up, and they aren't quite ready. We don't quite need them to get on to the next fields because we need to catch up to them. They're talking rain here tonight, and we have found that if we don't run the discs across this ground prior to rain, we can use the disc to help dry out the ground here. So let me call Sarah. We'll get her dialed in here. They should come over and get the service truck. Hey, what's going on? Do you guys fuel both of them? Okay. Yeah, fuel both of them, and then it's 4 o'clock. We'll probably get this service truck out of here. See if Charlotte's available. She's not home. Okay. All right. I gotta get with Jared and see how he's doing. We're running a little light on corn, but I think I'll put conventional corn over on 455A and B. So I was gonna have you come over and get the seed tender, move some seed around for us, but well, get the service truck out of off of 321. Get that home, and then we'll see how far along we are here. Alright, I don't really want that disc up there if it's gonna rain. So, alright. Okay, we'll see it. So usually, audio's good. I probably could turn the audio up a little bit. Let me see if I can get that figured out. Built-in microphone. Yeah. That should be a little louder. Of course, I like to talk a little loud anyway, so I can't hear all that great. So I have a tendency to talk a little louder than normal. But, yeah. So, Alex had that problem with her tractor. We kind of talked about that here a little bit ago. And you might be wondering, hey, how much corn have you got in? We're about a third done. Not good. I did end up trading in some corn here this morning. Had some long season corn that I had to get some shorter season corn in here. We're planting 114-day Pioneer variety right now, and might be a little late chopping that, but it is what it is. So I needed to trade some stuff off for some 106-day, somewhere thereabouts. If we end up getting rain, well, we're supposed to get some rain tonight. Neighbor said we could get 2 inches. I thought I seen 1/4 of an inch. If we get 1/4 of an inch, we'll probably be planting here by tomorrow afternoon. But if we get 2 inches, we're going to be shut down for another little bit. And I might want to trade that 106-day in for some 100-day. Now, some of the grain guys might be saying, "Oh my God, what are you out so far for on corn?" But this is silage corn, so we don't want all this silage to be ready at once. We want it to come at us when we can get to it, but we don't want to be chopping out in November. But we might be chopping in December of this year. You never know. So we're coming back up to the swamp here. I gotta see if I can get through it. Not go through it, but see if I can get around it without getting stuck. Because the last thing we need to do is be like a bunch of freaking amateurs and get stuck here planting. There has been 2 stucks here so far this year at Horgan Family Dairy, and it's been me that has been stuck both times. But here's the excuses. We're going to give you excuses. I got stuck with the service truck because we were forcing it to go across the tilled field, and it had been manured prior to that. We knew we shouldn't have been out in there, but that big old thing is only 2-wheel drive with closed shoulder tires on it. We got it stuck. I was just telling Jared, boy, we need to put a set of flotation tires on here, like the ones we put on the silage trucks. We need to put a set of them on that. Then that would turn that truck into a 4-wheel drive. But we got that stuck, and then last week, but you guys will see that in the video, I got my pickup truck stuck on wet grass. Them freaking tires on my black Ford suck. They're Goodyear Wranglers. They're like an all-terrain tire, and they fucking suck. They suck bad, real bad. So, seems like rain and more rain here lately. Yeah, that's for sure. So, how's the new Bobcat skid steer working out? So far, so good. I've got to step into that machine here after we get some hours on it. I think it's been in service here for about 2 weeks. I'm trying to slowly catch up with the videos here. Getting them out so that I'm not so far behind. I mean, if I don't catch up, we're gonna be having corn planting videos going out to you guys when we start chopping corn. But it's just the way it goes here lately. So I didn't know how long I would be on here today, but I thought I would kick out a live stream while I could. The phone's not been hammering me too bad here today, but once I get to the point where I have to fill up with seed or fertilizer, we're going to have to duck out of this live stream. Just the way it goes here. I thought sure Jared would be here by now, but he's not. Let's see if we can turn this camera back around. Oh, let's see, I gotta sign in. Oh, where are we? Right there. Share camera, Andy's iPhone. I have another iPhone that I use for, well, a drone that I had. And take my earpiece out. And I used to use that for these type situations, but I don't have that with me, and it's not charged up or anything. So I had already went through this to the right. We're going to try going through this right here. As long as I can stay on top of the ground, we should be good. It's a good thing we elected to put... Oh, we're building up, we're cleaning out. It's a good thing that we elected to put new tires on this tractor this year. If we had tried to run through another year with the tires that we had on this tractor that we had on here last year, we'd be stuck. We'd be stuck a few times by now. So, that spot right there, we are able to plant right up alongside the dingweeds there. This year, we're not able to do that. So, when it comes time to do our acreage report, it's going to take a little bit of doing because we're not going to have as many acres planted here this year compared to what we usually get planted as far as completed fields. So I know you're probably asking, well, how many acres of corn are you going to plant this year? The answer is not all of them this year. We're not going to be able to get all of them. So I've got to go through when it comes time to report, and I have to figure out what fields that we weren't able to completely plant this year. And that email went out, that guy trying to call me on the phone wants to talk. Well, I can't talk right now. I'm sorry, but I can't talk. But yeah, it's going to take some doing to get these acreage reports done. So yeah. Oh, somebody said one of the neighbors is all planted. That's freaking pretty good. Pretty good. Have you thought of a JCB skid steer? Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a JCB telehandler, and the resources for parts on that machine is terrible. These guys have just not figured out how to be available to sell parts. They like to shut down at about 3:30 on a Friday afternoon. They do not want to work on the weekend at all. And every time you call the frickin' bastards for parts, everybody's gone to lunch. They will not and choose not to separate each other for lunchtime, for example. So that's just a problem that we have dealt with, and we figured that being that JCB is what it is, they're used to not dealing with farmers, and if they can't handle that, then I think they can stay selling them to the market that they wish to sell to. Some of the stuff they choose not to carry in stock, and when it comes time to get something, the parts are like 3 times the cost of what it should be. That has been my experience. That's just, we'll leave it at that. Maybe you guys have had great service with JCB. We have the JCB telehandler, and it's been somewhat of a nightmare. The dealer that we used to go through for the telehandler, they since went away from it. We thought that was good. But, however, the new dealer is really no better. I think they bit off a little more than they could chew as far as taking on JCB, and it's taken them some time to get acclimated to the JCB machine. But we'll leave it at that. I shouldn't voice my opinion that way because it might get in the way of somebody's actual thought process here. But that's where we're going to leave that one. So, who did the pinstriping on the black Ford? I got to look that up. It's a local guy here in Moravia. Mark something or other. Why can't I think of that right now? Now you look him up on Facebook or whatever. He is in. Pretty sure he's in Moravia. He's done a lot of work right around in my direct area and does a freaking phenomenal job. have a thought about a John Deere skid steer. Well, the John Deere skid steers, we have had, all in all, the best experience with the John Deeres. I think I voiced my opinion in that Bobcat video. We got away from, we didn't get away from John Deere skid steers, but our guys cannot handle the hand controls. They want hand and foot. So Kubota had the hand and foot machines. We haven't tried anything else. We've seen some Bobcats out in the area, and so far, the Bobcat machine has been a pretty good machine. So somebody just commented, Mark Dunham. That's the correct name. I pinstripe my gray one too. Basically the same design, and that looks great too. Very nice. I know some of you aren't for the pinstriping. My wife doesn't particularly like it, but I think it makes it look snazzy. So, will we see a parlor video? We'll just have to wait and see. Hi from Minnesota. Yeah, Bobcat is a good choice. Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. We've just had one bad experience after another with the Kubota. Engine failure on all three. All three Kubotas that we've owned, engine failure. So it's unfortunate because it seems like, other than their garbage way of injecting fuel into the engine and what have you, it's a pretty well put together skid steer. Now, we had a drive motor that failed on it. Apparently they've had numerous instances of drive motor failure. It's still at the dealership now getting worked on. So, Liverpool. Now we got South Africa. Maybe we need a New Holland skid steer. Well, we demoed a New Holland skid steer and really didn't care for it. Now, once you get a bad experience on a machine, you can't let that hinder your opinion, because after a while they'll change out of that model, and the next model that they come out with might be a better one. I had somebody comment about a 1990s New Holland. That was back almost during the era that New Holland was building skid steers for John Deere, and they got away from building skid steers for John Deere because John Deere was selling more of them with the John Deere name on than what New Holland could sell. But that was a damn good skid steer, and it was probably a good skid steer after that. Once during the era when John Deere went to like the 200 skid steers, the 200s weren't all that great, like the 240, 50, 60, and 70. Maybe there was an 80 as well. They had hydraulic line issues and stuff like that, but other than that, New Holland, we demoed one a while ago and didn't really particularly care for it. They might have changed their model since then. That was 2 years ago or a year ago. Maybe they're better now. I don't know. But same with Bobcat. I mean, some of the guys claim the Bobcat's the best machine going. Probably the model that we bought, or the series that we bought, is probably changed from when they said they were the greatest thing. and we probably bought a dud. But we bought a third Kubota thinking that they got their problems worked out and they were going to be better. Well, lo and behold, that didn't seem to have proved itself. Some guys have had great luck with the Kubotas. Tanks on the planter. Thought about tanks on the tractor. No, we don't need any tanks on the tractor. The one thing that we did make a mistake on is on this planter here, this 16 row, ended up coming from the factory with a 450 gallon tank on the front. The other planter's got a 600 gallon tank on there. Now I know what they're thinking is. They're thinking that there's enough weight on the center frame with the seed tanks on there. But I could have got a 600 tank had I not ordered the tank with the planter and then ordered a tank separately. But I just wasn't thinking. I'm a little light on the fertilizer capacity, but I'm not too bad. The 600 gallon tank on the other planter, we don't usually fill that rate full. We usually only fill that to about 500 gallon. This one, when I fill it right to the top. And we're putting like 13 gallons on, so we're getting 25 acres or so on a fill up. It's not bad, but what we do need to do is we need to put a semi together. We need to put fertilizer tanks on a trailer, and we need to leave the truck that we're using in the field, and we need to nurse that truck with larger tanks because we cannot get we can't get through a whole day with the amount of fertilizer that we need. Once in a while, if we fill the planters full the night before, go home, fill the truck, we're okay. But usually we have to search for somebody to come and grab the truck and fill it. But it takes them just about the amount of time that it takes us to plant a tank of fertilizer. So we have to hurry up, fill both planters, let that guy leave, and then get him to come back. So that's a pain in the ass. Need video of the bale on the roof. Yeah, I won't. I hope I ain't gotta ever video that, but that is pretty silly. Chuck needs to build us a trailer. Yes, he does. We just need to find like a drop deck or something and put a couple thousand, maybe a 3 and a 4,000, maybe a 3,000 gallon, two 3,000 gallon tanks, so we can put a couple of different blends on the trailer, so we have both blends, in other words, and or enough to feed that truck. But it's a pain, but we make it work. So some guys don't even nurse, don't even have a truck for their planter. They're just close enough to the barn. They drive the planter home, fill the planter, and then go back planting again. Or they've got a pickup truck with a couple of them totes there that hold like 275 gallons, and that's what they fill, and that's what they use. That would work too if you're right near the farm. So I don't know. Video of the new milk and parlor in action. I don't know if I'll ever video that or not. Not much to see really, but I don't know. It's a tricky subject. The other thing I keep forgetting to video, and I probably should have brought it with me today, or I should have had a picture on my phone or something. I ended up finally getting my silver play button from YouTube. It's been over a year, about a year and a half since I hit the 100,000 subscriber number. Here's Jared here. Hello? Now, come right to Manganos here. How much corn do you have left? Yeah, I used it all too. I should have enough to... Oh, he is. Okay. Boy, we could put conventional on them other fields over there. I've got conventional 455A and B. You would have to run your planter out. I'm on this big lot. I'm about... Oh, what the hell do I have left here? Gotta look at my counter. I don't have much left here, but I only had enough corn. I took all the BMR. 16, 12. I only got enough here for another 12 acres. So I could get this done, and I could get the corner lot done. And then that 455A and B, that could be conventional. The girls went after the service truck. Oh boy, the other idea, but I'd have to be out of corn too. I was going to say they could have started up at Cummings's, disking up there once your planter was empty. But you would need the seed tender home. About the time you got seed tender, I'd be out of seed too. And I would need it. So I guess we better stick together. We learned enough of a lesson not sticking together here earlier today. So if it ends up turning into conventional, we can just turn it into conventional. So that'll work. So maybe Fitzy can come over and just give you a hand filling up and jockeying us around and moving that seed tender from where it is now to down the road. Try to figure out what you need exactly for seed. So, but why don't you let me do the corner lot, and then you go to 455A, empty your planter out, and then you'll have to change varieties, and then that'll be BMR and conventional in that. Well, no, you should go to the back lot. Go to the back lot. We'll make that a mix. Well, it doesn't matter. We're gonna screw it up anyway we do it, so it doesn't matter. Go to that front one, 455A. So, all right, and then yeah, maybe one of the girls could take him over here, or they come back over and get. He stays with the seed tender. They get the green truck out here, then they start disking. We'll do that. Have him touch. I'll call him. Yeah. All right. So I've got to call my nephew. See, I shouldn't be interrupting you guys like this. doesn't do well with the whole YouTube experience on a live stream if I'm off. Yeah. So I got to get a hold of my nephew and see if he can find out. Hey, what's going on? Hey, call Alex and Sarah and see how far away they are. They went to get the service truck out of Bennett's Corners. All right, so that's perfect. They haven't left yet. Okay, perfect. Have them bring you here, drop you off here, and then they'll get the service truck. And then tell them when they get back, they should be able to go right to Diskin. Yeah, seed tender is on Manganos, right on Monroe Road by the golf course. No, you're gonna stay right with us. We're gonna jockey seed. You'll have to empty the seed tube into the front. It's the back compartment, but watch it, it's heavy on the rear. To get it folded up, you'll have to empty the auger out. You've seen Jared do that, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll see ya. All right, so we're yeah, trying to get done with this before the rain. It looks like I've got sprinkles on the window. I don't think so, but it could be. It could be. But if we get this wet field here done, that'll be good enough. Oh. Let's check some of this stuff out here. I don't know. We got rain coming in. Shows showers in the area. I've got, I don't know, 8 or 9 acres left in this field, and if I can get this one done without it raining, we should be in pretty good shape. So we got a fair number of you in here. I see there's like 600 or something like that. So that's a pretty good time. But yeah, we're just gonna have to keep at her. Planting here in Ohio too. What do you got? Pissing rain in Ohio. See, I read that wrong. It's hard for me to see that, but yeah, you guys should smash the like button. How many acres do we have left to seed? Well, there's probably 16. Yeah, sprinkling. I got sprinkles on the window. 1,600 acres, I think, what we got left. So, how long has the family been farming? Well, we've been farming since long time. My grandfather bought the farm in like 1950, but he came from a family farm before that, so it's been a little whirl. Yes, the service truck was a pretty good purchase. Father's doing good. He's got to have a knee replaced, so he's got one knee that's bummed him up pretty good here, but he's hobbling around, getting things done. So, pouring rain and corning. Oh, that's not good. Better step up the pace here a little bit. So I'll have to show you what this side of the field looks like. Let's get my camera back in motion here. I use the Switcher Go app. And the reason why I use that, we've talked about this before. The reason why I use this app is because when the replay happens, if in the event that, no, this doesn't want to add the camera. Done. I don't know why I won't add it, but at any rate, it is what it is. So can't screw around with that too much here, and I'm not going to pull the iPad rather, off the mount because I'll need both hands again before I can get it mounted back down. But at any rate, I'm on the wetter side of the field here, and I almost got stuck like 3 or 4 times in this field going around the headlands, so that wasn't at all that fun. I had mud get in my one of the wheels on the left hand side has like an air gap sensor that monitors the movement of the corn planter, and I got mud in that wheel. Had to back up and go forward a couple times, and it bent that damn bracket that has that air gap sensor on it. It bent that out of the way, and I didn't have any wheel movement. So when that happened, I planted a little bit, which I'm going to have to regroup here. I planted a good distance around the outside of this field on this one end, and the planter wasn't planting nothing. So I've got to step in here now and replant that. I was watching my wet spots, and I wasn't watching the freaking monitor. So you wanna watch things pretty good, and these monitors, when the whole thing stops planting, it just gives an alert, and then that alert will go away. So I ignored it, of course, and I didn't realize till I got a little ways that I wasn't planting nothing. So we're planting this spot in right now. Got to look at my coverage map here. There was one little spot that it came back on. The mud must have got in front of it, or maybe a little stone went around and got in there and allowed the planter to come on for a second, and then it went off. But that's what we're doing right now. I don't cheer for any sports teams. The only teams that I ever cheered for was the teams my kids were on. Eastern Colorado, off and on the best 3 days and a few tornadoes. So we're going to plant this in here. I created a boundary on the outside of this field as I planted it. And then what I'll have to do is I'll have to note that this field didn't get completely planted. And I'll have to use my acreage report from this year, compare it to last year, and say, hey, it was this many acres that we didn't plant this year. I don't know what we're going to get this year for preventative plant. I don't know if I can use some of these fields that aren't completely planted for acres. I don't know if they're going to apply. I know some guys live by the preventative plant. They almost pray for that every year, but it's kind of hard to feed cows money, and we need to get the crop in the ground. So we always try to shoot for planting the crop. If you plant the crop, you better have a crop to harvest. So that's what we shoot for, usually. Usually. So, oh, we got somebody from the UK. So, how many acres of corn do you usually plant? Usually we plant all of them. Like I was talking about earlier here, this year, we're not going to be planting all of them. So we're going to lack some acres this year. We'll have to share with you what we don't end up actually planting this year for like the acres that we should have planted. We'll have to share that number with you. Oh, what's the latest we planted corn? Well, I would call this like a normal planting. It's usually, the 8th, or we try to be done by the 8th or the 10th or so of June. And then, of course, sometimes we'll take hay off, and we're late planting that. We just use that as like a bonus, if you will, to assure that we're going to have some green chop to put on top of the bunk. For example, last year we took the hay off of this field, planted a short day corn in here, and I planted this it was on Father's Day. So what was that? June 16th, I think it was. So that's relatively late. I mean, when we chopped this, it didn't yield all that great. And we're gonna have some corn that's not gonna yield all that great this year, just with how late it is going in the ground. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I got a little bit further to go here, and then I'm going to be all the way around this field, or I'm going to be up to the point where I noticed that frickin' air gap sensor bent on the left wheel. There's probably a way to cancel that out and not have it go off of that, but I don't think so. We've had mud get caught in there before, and alright, this is right to the point where I got it working again. So we'll turn back around, we'll change our guidance track here. Back to going the opposite way. We were going this way on the long rounds of this field, and then the short rounds were perpendicular to the long rounds. And we've got some wet holes on this side to dodge around. We're getting some more sprinkles on the window, and I just need a big half hour here to get done with this field here. Need to figure out how I'm going to go around these wet holes. I think I want to plant them the direction we were planting the long rounds to get past this one end here. So I'll have to go up to where we were going the other way here, bring this down to that point, and then plant along this wet hole. And this, we've got 2 wet holes running the long direction of this field here. I think I can box this out right here. Not too good with keeping up with the comments. I do apologize. So, I can't read that. Somebody's saying something about stress or something like that, but you just can't let it bother you. You just gotta roll with it. So, I don't know. No, the stress meter, I don't let it bother me. Were they able to get here with the transmission. The deer with the transmission issue. I don't know what one you're talking about. We got the 7200 back. That's what you're talking about. Anyone with my phone number. Yeah. Oh, well, I was going to delete that off the video there, but I said, nah, we're far enough to the end of the video. Maybe there wasn't that many people that were still tuned in, and we'll just leave that going. I got number 16. I don't know if that is a stone caught in the closing wheel or not. We might have to jump out and take a peek at that. It seems to be digging a little bit. We'll have to get out and check that, so we'll be right back. Oh. Alright, no stone, but it's sprinkling a little more. Oh well. Oh well. Well, there goes Jared there. He just passed on by. So the field that he has to go to is on the same farm here, but he's just going to go on the other side of the woods to our right. And I'm hoping I can get this one done, and I've got another 6-acre piece on the other side of this open ditch here that I'd like to get done. The fields he's going to are a little drier. The field after this one that I have to do is drier. So if we can get walked through this field, we won't be in that bad a shape. The field that we were trying to get to today, we wanted to put a real short day BMR corn on, and then strip this one chunk. Put an early day corn on, short season corn, and put wheat on it and strip it. Make up separate fields. So if you recall that one field up on, I flew the drone where they were spreading manure. Frac tank was set up. That field used to be 3, 4, 5. There used to be like 6 fields, and we want to break it up into 3 and 3 again. But we wanted to change things a little bit so that it would make it easier to apply manure from that satellite storage. How many acres do we have to do yet? We've got about, I don't know, maybe 1,600 left to go. So it wouldn't take us long to do if we could put enough good days here together. But we only seem to get one good day and a partial day together. And then we sit. We sat for 5 or 6 days here last go around, and that wasn't too good, really. We planted, let's see, last Wednesday, we sat Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I went out alone Monday night, planted 30 or 40 acres, and then we got going here, pretty good shape here yesterday morning, and then today we had that tractor with a starter problem. I had to work on that, and didn't think we were going to get this rain until later on tonight, 9 o'clock or so, and I would have, on a normal situation, knowing rain was coming, is like, let's just leave that tractor alone, and we'll try to get caught up to the discs. But we weren't that far away from them either, so we probably wouldn't have been any farther ahead than we are right now, with decking with it, if you will. So I had to put a starter on this planting tractor last week too. So, pain in the ass. Real pain in the ass. Oh, it was dead quiet, huh? So, one more pass down through that other side, we should be in good shape. So, but I think this is where we are going to sign off. So I'm getting low on fertilizer. I've got some water points in this field, and I need to bang it out. And the sprinkles are getting a little, it seemed to pick up a little bit here. So this is where we're going to sign off, guys. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We'll try to kick out another one of these here as time goes on. And we'll just kind of see how things roll together here. But I want to thank everybody for watching, or tuning in, rather. And we will catch you guys at the next one.